Every morning, millions wake up already defeated. The alarm rings, but instead of rising with purpose, they rise with pressure. Instead of starting with clarity, they start with chaos. The truth is, if you don't master the morning, is the most critical part of the day because it carries with it the principle of first moments. Every beginning has power. The way something starts often determines the way it continues, and the first few moments of your morning establish the rhythm and tone of your entire day. Many people underestimate the power of the morning and treat it casually. But the truth is that your first actions, your first thoughts, and your first words create a foundation that will either empower you or weaken you throughout the day. If you begin with distractions, you will carry a distracted mind into your schedule. If you begin with focus, you will carry focus into every assignment. The law of beginnings is simple. What starts right has the strength to continue right, but what starts wrong carries weakness in everything that follows. When you first open your eyes, you are standing at the threshold of possibility. That first hour is like fresh soil waiting for a seed, and whatever seed you plant will begin to grow immediately. This is why it is dangerous to fill your first moments with negativity, comparison, or worry. Many wake up and the first thing they do is scroll through a phone, absorb chaos from news, or rush in panic because they overslept. Those first moments are stolen from them, and without realizing it, they spend the rest of the day trying to recover from a poor start. On the other hand, when you intentionally guard your first moments, you rise with strength instead of stress, clarity instead of confusion, and purpose instead of pressure. The principle of first moments teaches us that the morning is not just about waking up physically, but about awakening mentally and spiritually. If the mind is clouded at the beginning, the decisions you make will be clouded all day. If the spirit is neglected in the morning, your inner strength will feel weak in the face of challenges. That is why the most successful and effective people never leave their first moments to chance. They understand that the morning is sacred and that the first thoughts they allow to enter their mind are the architects of the hours to come. Your morning is also where habits are born. If you allow your first moments to be wasted, it will become a pattern that repeats itself every day. The brain remembers what it practices, and soon the habit of distraction will feel normal. But if you teach yourself to command your first moments with intention, your mind learns to expect discipline, your body learns to follow order, and your spirit learns to rise in strength. Each morning becomes a training ground, shaping you for the larger battles of life. This is why the ancient wisdom says that whoever is faithful in little will be faithful in much, because mastering the first moments of a day is mastering the small, and that mastery multiplies into the bigger victories of life. Another truth about first moments is that they are the most honest. In the quiet of the morning, before the noise of the world arrives, you face yourself. You face your real thoughts, your real emotions, your real desires. If you rush past those moments, you miss the opportunity to align yourself with truth. But when you pause and embrace the silence of your first moments, you gain clarity that no meeting, no phone call, and no deadline can provide. The morning whispers direction, but only those who protect their first moments will hear it. Think about how builders lay the foundation of a house. The foundation determines the strength of the entire structure. If the foundation is weak, the whole house is in danger. In the same way, the foundation of your day is poured in the morning. If you pour in anxiety, hurry, and confusion, you are building on weakness. But if you pour in gratitude, focus, and purpose, you are building on strength, Whatever foundation you lay in those first moments is what will hold the weight of your entire day. The first moments also reveals who is in control you or your circumstances. If you let the alarm control you, if you let social media control you, if you let deadlines control you before you have controlled yourself, then you are already defeated before you have begun. But when you take command of your first moments, you send a signal to your mind and body that you are in charge. That signal grows into confidence, and that confidence carries you through every challenge the day will bring. Winning the first moments of the morning is not about perfection, but about intentionality. It is about choosing to honor the beginning so that the rest of the day will honor you. The principle of first moments reminds us that time is a gift, and the morning gives you the first and best portion of that gift. How you spend it is not a small decision. It is the decision that shapes all others. Do you want me to continue expanding Keynote 2A, the power of morning discipline, also into a 600 Tatsaula word section in the same style? Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny, and the morning is where that bridge is either built or broken. The power of morning discipline is not just about waking up early, it is about establishing control over the most important part of your day. When you master the morning through discipline, you take charge of the hours ahead, and instead of being dragged by life, you begin to lead your life. Every act of discipline in the morning is like a soldier taking his post. It secures your ground and positions you to win every battle that may come later in the day. Morning discipline is powerful because it sets a structure before the chaos of the world arrives. Without discipline, mornings are rushed, reactive, and filled with stress. You wake up late, you scramble for clothes, you skip breakfast, and you run into the day already behind. That lack of discipline becomes the rhythm of your entire schedule, and it affects your productivity, your attitude, and even the way you treat people. But when discipline is present in the morning, you create order, and that order flows into everything else you do. A disciplined morning brings calmness, focus, and clarity. You no longer chase the day. Instead, the day begins to follow your command. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about training. When you discipline yourself in the morning, you are training your mind to focus, your body to obey, and your spirit to remain steady. It is a daily rehearsal for greatness. No champion has ever been crowned without discipline, and no life can rise to significance without order. The morning is your personal training ground, and what you practice there determines the strength you will carry into your responsibilities, your relationships, and your opportunities. The beauty of morning discipline is that it multiplies. One small act of discipline at the beginning of the day creates momentum for greater acts of discipline as the hours unfold. For example, choosing to wake up at a set time, regardless of how you feel, conditions your body to respect your decisions rather than your emotions. When you win that small battle, you are prepared to win larger ones. Choosing to exercise in the morning, even when you don't feel like it, sharpens your willpower and teaches your body to submit to your purpose rather than your comfort. Choosing to read, pray, reflect, or plan in the first hour of your day strengthens your mind and spirit, giving you clarity that will direct your decisions long after the morning is gone. Discipline compounds, and morning is the place where that compounding begins. Another dimension of morning discipline is consistency. Anyone can wake up early once or twice, but discipline is about creating a pattern that becomes unbreakable. Consistency builds trust with yourself. Every time you keep a disciplined commitment in the morning, You send a message to yourself that you are reliable, that you can be counted on, that your word to yourself matters. Over time, this builds confidence and inner strength. A person without discipline is unstable, but a person with consistent morning discipline is like a tree with deep roots. No matter what storm comes during the day, they remain steady and unshaken. Discipline in the morning also protects your priorities. Without it, other people's agendas will invade your time before you have even set your own. The phone rings, the messages arrive, the emails demand attention, and soon you realize that you are spending your day serving the urgent instead of fulfilling the important. But when you discipline yourself to establish your priorities first thing in the morning, you anchor yourself before the waves of demands hit. Discipline creates a shield that guards your focus and keeps you aligned with your true purpose. Morning discipline is the art of saying yes to order and no to disorder. It is choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. It is refusing to be governed by the laziness of the body or the distractions of the world. It is rising above feelings and embracing purpose. Every time you wake up and submit yourself to morning discipline, you are declaring that your destiny is more important than your excuses, that your calling is greater than your comfort, and that your future deserves your best effort today. The truth is, greatness is not built in grand moments. It is built in daily disciplines. The morning is the most important classroom where you practice those disciplines, and every lesson you learn there will echo throughout your life. Discipline in the morning produces dignity because it gives you the power to live intentionally instead of accidentally. Would you like me to now expand Keynote 3D, feeding your mind and spirit first into 600 ups words in the same style? The way you feed your body determines your strength, and the way you feed your mind and spirit determines your direction. The morning is not only a physical beginning, but also a spiritual and mental awakening, and what you choose to consume first thing sets the tone for every decision and every thought that follows. If your mind is filled with clutter and your spirit is left empty, you will go through the day reactive, anxious, and unfocused. But if you take the time to feed your mind with wisdom and your spirit with truth, you begin your day grounded, clear, and anchored in strength. The quality of your first intake determines the quality of your output, because you can only pour out what you have first taken in. When you rise in the morning, your mind is like an open field, and whatever is sown there will grow throughout the day. Many people unknowingly plant seeds of fear, worry, or distraction by immediately turning to social media, news, or entertainment. They allow their first thoughts to be shaped by outside voices rather than their own purpose. The danger of this is that it places your mind under the control of others before you have even gained control yourself. But when you deliberately feed your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and truth, you reclaim authority over your thoughts. You set the agenda for your inner world instead of letting the noise of the outer world dictate your emotions. Feeding the spirit is even more critical because the spirit is the foundation of identity, peace, and endurance. The body can wake up and the mind can start working. But if the spirit is weak, the entire person is unbalanced. Morning is the best time to strengthen the spirit because it is the moment of stillness before the demands of the day arrive. In those quiet moments, you can choose to meditate, to reflect, to pray, to give gratitude, or to simply listen. When the spirit is fed first, it gives life to the mind and direction to the body. Without this alignment, You may achieve activity, but you will lack fulfillment. With this alignment, you achieve clarity, and even the most difficult tasks of the day become manageable because your spirit is steady. The principle of feeding the mind and spirit first teaches us that inner nourishment must come before outer activity. Many people rush into work, meetings, and responsibilities without pausing to center themselves, and then wonder why they feel drained, overwhelmed, or unproductive. The truth is that you cannot give what you do not have. A starved mind cannot produce creativity, and a starved spirit cannot produce resilience. But a nourished mind generates ideas, and a nourished spirit produces endurance. When you feed yourself first, you are not being selfish, you are being wise, because it allows you to serve others from a place of abundance rather than emptiness. Another reason why feeding the mind and spirit first is powerful is that the morning, when you are most receptive, the mind is fresh, uncluttered, and more capable of absorbing information. This is why studying, journaling, reading, or listening to something uplifting in the morning has a greater impact than at any other time of the day. Your spirit, too, is more open in those early hours. In the stillness, there is less distraction, and in the silence, your inner voice is louder. If you learn to honor that time, you will discover that wisdom and insight flow more naturally, and solutions to problems that seemed impossible the day before suddenly become clear. Feeding the mind and spirit in the morning also creates alignment between thought, emotion, and action. When your mind is filled with focus, your thoughts will guide you toward purpose. When your spirit is filled with peace, your emotions will remain steady despite challenges. When both are fed, your actions become intentional and your life moves in harmony. Many people live with conflict inside themselves because their actions are disconnected from their spirit and their thoughts are disconnected from their purpose. Morning is the time to bring everything back into alignment, and feeding yourself properly is the key to creating that harmony. What you choose to consume first is a reflection of what you value most. If you value growth, you will feed your mind with knowledge. If you value peace, you will feed your spirit with truth. If you value purpose, you will feed yourself with clarity before chasing the noise of the day. Every morning you are making an investment, and the return on that investment will be visible in the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you live. A wise person invests in themselves first so that they can handle the demands of life with strength and stability. When you begin your day by feeding your mind and spirit, you create a shield around yourself. Challenges will still come, but they will not defeat you easily because you have already armed yourself with strength from within. Distractions will still appear, but they will not capture you because your mind has already been given focus. Stress will still knock at your door, but it will not control you because your spirit is grounded in peace. The nourishment you give yourself in the morning becomes the armor you wear for the rest of the day, and it is this armor that allows you not only to survive, but to thrive. Would you like me to expand Keynote 40 Morning as the seed of the day into 6 fundaments of words in the same tone and style? Every morning is a seed planted into the soil of time, and the fruit of that seed is revealed in the results of the day. Just as a farmer understands that the quality of his harvest depends on the quality of the seed he sows, so too the quality of your day depends on what you sow into the morning. The morning is not random, it is sacred ground, the place where your intentions, thoughts, and actions take root. If you neglect it, you leave your day unplanted, open to weeds of distraction and frustration. If you invest in it, you cultivate a harvest of productivity, peace, and purpose. The seed principle teaches us that every harvest is determined by what was sown earlier. No farmer expects to reap corn if he planted wheat, and no one expects to harvest the fruit if they sowed nothing at all. In the same way, you cannot expect to reap focus, strength, or progress in your day if you sowed laziness, confusion, or neglect in your morning. The actions you take in the first hours are prophetic. They reveal what you will encounter in the hours that follow. When you rise with intention, discipline, and clarity, you have planted seeds that will bear fruit in your schedule, your relationships, and your decisions. The morning also carries within it the principle of timing. A farmer knows that the earlier he sows, the stronger his harvest will be because the seed has more time to take root and grow. Likewise, the earlier you plant order, gratitude, and focus into your morning, the stronger the impact will be throughout your day. Waiting until the middle of the day to center yourself is like waiting until the season has passed to plant your field. You have lost the best opportunity. Morning gives you the earliest soil of the day, untouched and fresh, waiting for you to decide what will grow. Another truth about the morning as a seed is that small actions multiply into large outcomes. A seed looks small, insignificant, even powerless. But hidden inside a seed is an entire tree, a harvest, and generations of fruit. The same is true with the small things you do in the morning. Choosing to wake up on time may look small, but it produces the fruit of order and confidence. Choosing to speak gratitude before you complain may look small, but it produces the fruit of joy and resilience. Choosing to plan your priorities before you face your responsibilities may look small, but it produces the fruit of clarity and progress. The small choices of the morning become the large harvests of the day. When you understand the morning as a seed, you also learn the importance of protection. A farmer guards the seed he plants because he knows that animals, weeds, or storms can destroy it. In the same way, you must guard your morning from intrusions that steal the power of your seed. Distractions, negative conversations, unnecessary scrolling, and rushing without focus are the birds that come to eat the seeds of your morning before they even take root. Protecting your morning is not a matter of routine, but of harvest. If you lose the seed, you lose the fruit. The seed of the morning also reminds us that what you plant does not remain in the morning alone. It follows you into every place you go. If you plant peace, you carry that peace into your workplace, your home, your meetings, and your conversations. If you plant chaos, you carry that chaos into the same spaces. Your morning travels with you. It does not stay behind. The fruit of your day is simply the reflection of what you chose to plant in your first hours. The law of the seed also teaches patience. When a seed is planted, the harvest does not appear immediately, but the process has already begun. In the same way, the morning you invest in does not always produce visible results in the same hour, but it is working silently beneath the surface. The energy you generate, the clarity you establish, and the strength you cultivate in the morning may only reveal themselves when challenges arise later in the day. Just as the farmer trusts the process, you must trust that what you planted in the morning will rise up and meet you when you need it most. The morning as the seed of the day is an invitation to take responsibility for the harvest you desire. Too many people live as if their day is out of their control, shaped only by circumstances, deadlines, or the demands of others. But the principle of the seed places control back into your hands. You decide what to plant. You decide whether to waste the soil or to cultivate it. You decide whether the harvest will be fruitful or barren. But the morning is not just a time to wake up. It is the soil that holds the destiny of your day. your morning, your day controls you instead of you controlling it. But when you win the morning, you win the day